Yeah, but yeah, as is there's many other types of videos that a person can sit down and produce that actually make money. They bring in views, they make money, they get all the clicks and all that stuff. But as is, when it comes down to doing the cop watching or doing the First Amendment test or auditing, you put in often more money than you get out when it comes to the ad revenue.
Sure. More often than not, Bob and I would spend more money on gas than I'll ever get in ad revenue. And speaking of that, you know, I was doing pretty decent for a while there, up until about 5 months ago, when they had the YouTube ad apocalypse. 7 years of my life put into the police accountability, over 1,700 videos online. I was actually making, I'd say, about a third of my income. My monthly income was coming from the monetization on YouTube. But YouTube ad apocalypse comes, and now I'm making nothing. You know, I've had over, I think it was like 600 or 700 of my videos were mass demonetized over the last couple months. It's happening to everybody that's doing political content. So I'm going to switch over to, you know, I'm heavily promoting something called Steemit right now, which is a social network platform. And when people like or comment or upvote your content there, you get a cryptocurrency that's it's another cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. But what I love about Steemit is when your supporters on Steemit like and upvote your content there, no money comes out of their pocket, but you still profit from it. So I like that idea. You know, personally, the only reason I use Facebook is because they're so prolific. And the Facebook corporation, Mark Zuckerberg, is so prolific that everybody uses it. But I love these really insulting emails I get every once in a while from Facebook. They're like, oh, you have a post that's performing really well. How would you like to boost the post for, like, you know, $5? It's like, excuse me? So I spend, you know, I've been on Facebook about 10 years now. I've spent a decade pushing my activism into Facebook. And now Facebook wants to start not allowing people to see my stuff because they algorithmically hobble activist content on Facebook. That's a known fact now. And then they want to send you an email after you spent all your life energy for 10 years now, or however many years. If you've been on Facebook a year, it doesn't really matter. But you spend all this time, effort, energy into writing, into posting your video content there, into, you know, creating value, because, you know, YouTube runs pop-up ads on the side of, you know, over there in the sidebar when people are browsing the web that have been algorithmically chosen by your search habits, and the computers have been watching what you like and what you upvote and downvote and all this stuff to market to you. And that's a quantifiable value, you know, that Mark Zuckerberg is auctioning off to the highest bidder. And so in essence, everybody that's on Facebook, they are working for Mark Zuckerberg's personal enrichment and the board members of that corporation. So you are literally turning yourself, your passion, your drive, your love, and everything that you like, you know, into a product that's auctioned off, like your social network contacts and your very life energy. It's almost vampiric if you think about it.
Well, as is they're tapping into a system that they figured out how to work to make money for themselves. And then they just get everybody to use it, so this way they can gather more data, so they can better sell the ads and all that stuff. But, I mean, how should I put it? The main difference between how Facebook does it and YouTube does it, Facebook, you can't really get accurate information about some of the stuff on how they aggregate. Like
you cannot.
As is with Facebook, a lot of the accounts that are created on there are bot accounts it's meant to be on there to make likes, get friends or whatever, to make them look like legitimate, so this way they can help push whatever money they get pushed that way. So if so-and-so wants to buy numbers for a Facebook post, they go and sell that. And the same thing happens to YouTube, but it's more prevalent on these other websites where they are more closed-lip about the analytic information, where, at least with Google, I'm glad about is they're more forward with it, and they're a little bit more anti-try to stop the padding. They do pad themselves, without a doubt. I've seen it. But nonetheless, at least you can get a better idea just from looking at the analytics for your YouTube channel or someone else's YouTube channel if you're trying to see if you're going to be investing in all that stuff. But yeah, it's just you're making their money, and right now, I mean, both Facebook and Google are heavily promoting a politicized campaign that is actually hurting their bottom line when you go and really look at it. Where people
how so? Go through this.
Okay, well, with YouTube, they're either YouTube itself specifically, it's either been just cutting even with the whole revenue issue and the cost of operating, or being below, and they have been shifting to sort of screw over all the big YouTubers and shifting towards a more corporate thing. If you go look at the YouTube news, Tim Pool's done quite a few videos about this, where you look at who's on there. Well, it's mainly like HBO. You have with the Tom Oliver thing. You have the other like late night TV show kind of thing where they do their mockumentary stuff. You got CNN. But where's the YouTuber news producers? Outside of the Young Turks, who have a buddy-buddy relationship with YouTube directly, are having a hard time. Like
David the Young
Rubin.
Jerks. I'm not a fan of their work. By the way, they exaggerate quite a bit.
Oh yeah, and as I said, the reason why I sort of I'm putting their name out there and saying they're sort of excluded is because they got a buddy-buddy relationship directly with the YouTube CEOs and all that stuff in the board. But when you go and look at like David Pacman, Joe Rogan, what was it, Dave Rubin, these other people, even Tim Pool, they all
those guys are generating quite a bit of revenue for YouTube. They were.
Yeah, well, they're not just generating revenue. They're doing, they're doing interviews. They're sitting there.
Sure.
They're getting out there and doing reports. I mean, Steven Chowder is actually, granted, he's a conservative mockumentary kind of guy, but he's going out there and getting raw content and bringing it in and actually reporting on events and stuff like that.
Sure. I mean, it's just like what I was doing when I was out in Standing Rock. I was going out there and looking for stuff that I did. What I do when I go to an event like that is I look for an angle that's not being covered by anyone else and try to cover that. When I went out to Ferguson, what I did was walk around in the neighborhood and talk to people. I'd walk up on people's front porches and go, "Hi, I run a YouTube channel. I do police accountability stuff, and can I ask you, how are you being treated by the police here? What's going on?" But for the last 10 years, corporate media has been getting its backside handed to it. See there, I didn't say ASS. I'm
too late. Google monetization is not going to like this video anyway, or this podcast because of all the stuff you said earlier. So,
well, do they have a algorithm that's listening to all the audio, and does it flag when you use a curse word?
No. This is how it works. They have a system.
Is it looking at the meta tags?
Okay, well, the way it's doing the flagging is it looks at the meta information that's put in, and one of the meta informations that is read is closed captioning, and closed captioning happens automatically on your videos after a certain period of time by a different program that sits there and listens to all the speech and tries to make it automatic.
So it analyzes all the closed captioning software and then it finds the curse words.
Yeah. And so it's just it's looking at the after effects and all that stuff.
Well, I'm gonna promise you this, Mr. Boots. When we're doing our podcast from now on, I'm challenging myself. I think I can a little engine that could, but I'm gonna try to not curse. It's my life goal, let's say.
You're gonna try to curb
my expletives, yes.
Yeah, your enthusiastic mouth. Got it.
Yeah, it's difficult. I really mean it. Like I'm not just saying that. It's hard for me.
Oh yeah, as is, especially when I was getting hemmed up with the U.S. Marshals. It was quite the strain to not sit there and curse their head off while they're putting their hands on me and trying to manhandle me off the property.
Mhm.
It's not an easy process. It's something that just it's difficult to maintain a certain amount of composure, especially when you're put in a difficult situation. And a good example is actually the person just recently, last week, who got arrested for doing a Second Amendment open carry thing over in Vegas. And so he actually got arrested, and